I'll be a president who will stand with our allies and friends and make it clear to our adversaries the days of cozying up to dictators is over.
Arguably the most important aspect of foreign policy awaiting the Biden administration is dealing with China. Under President Trump, U.S.-China relations plummeted to an all-time low. During the presidential campaign, both candidates heavily critical of China, especially its initial handling of the COVID-19 outbreak. Chinese officials now say they hope the incoming administration meets China halfway so as to advance U.S.-China ties.
It's very unlikely that this is the result North Korea was hoping for. Leader Kim Jong-un has invested a lot of time and energy into President Trump, 3 historic meetings and countless letters. As for President-elect Biden, he has been highly critical of North Korea throughout the campaign, even calling the leader Kim Jong-un a thug. Now, Biden has said that he could meet with Kim Jong-un, but only if he gives up some nuclear capability.
Well, the Kremlin is bracing for a much tougher tone from Washington under President-elect Biden, who's called Russia the main threat to US national security. Many Russians, though, President Trump remains popular, widely seen as wanting to improve ties with Moscow and deferential to the Russian leader Vladimir Putin. But there are some here cautiously welcoming the change too, to what is hoped, after 4 years of Trump, will be a more predictable Biden administration.
The fundamentals of the Indo-US relationship are unlikely to change under the Biden administration. New Delhi and Washington will look to further strengthen defense, trade, technology, and investment ties. However, given the ongoing tensions between India and China, President-elect Joe Biden's approach to the common concern China will be watched closely.
It is with a good deal of hope that European officials and leaders have welcomed the news of Joe Biden's victory in the American election. Hope about the patching up of the transatlantic alliance, hope also about the fact that the United States will rejoin the Paris Climate Accord, but also a good deal of realism about the fact that the escalating trade war between the EU and the United States is unlikely to get fixed.
There is perhaps muted optimism in Iran that a Biden presidency will be more similar to that of the Obama era, with a softening of relationships and perhaps even a return to the Iran nuclear deal. But publicly, Iran's leaders continue to be very harsh in their rhetoric towards the United States, with Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei tweeting that the U.S. election was a spectacle, the ugly face of liberal democracy, and an indication of America's moral decline.
Under a Joe Biden presidency, Israel and the US will remain the staunchest of allies and firmest of friends. But there are 2 areas where they could clash. One is with Iran. Biden says that he will rejoin the Iran nuclear deal if Iran goes back into compliance. That's something that Israel and Netanyahu vehemently oppose. And also with the Palestinians, where we could see a renewed US push towards a 2-state solution, something that Netanyahu also has decidedly ignored during the Trump presidency.